Have you ever thought about where your produce comes from? Most grocery chains receive produce from various local and national farmers. In fact, there are about 3.4 million farmers in the United States today. But of that staggering number, only 45,000 are Black farmers. At the Better Buggy, we are a proud group of Atlanta-based Black-owned farmers, selling produce locally and nationwide. Our easy-to-navigate online platform makes it easy for you to make a one-time purchase or to simplify your life by subscribing to our weekly produce box. Whichever frequency you choose, you can order with confidence, knowing you'll receive 100% organic farm-fresh produce. If you're looking for a thoughtful gift for a loved one that they'd actually find useful, be sure to pop by our online store where you can snag a gift card your recipient can use to order their own produce and t-shirts. Ready to start supporting local Black-owned farms and making healthier food decisions? Visit thebetterbuggy.com now to start shopping.
Ladies and gentlemen, things in America is about to get real ugly. This Saturday is the final day of the moratorium. And we know Delta is exploding all over the country. And when these people get put out on the streets, that's going to make it twice as bad. Look, if you're in a situation where you are behind on rent or you're behind and you applied for assistance, and, America has done an extremely poor job in getting the word out about the assistance. And they have complicated the process on top of that. I have seen articles, y'all, this morning where landlords are talking about locking people out after the 31st. So if you're behind on your rent and your landlord, many of them are waiting to lock people out of apartments and homes that they are renting after the 31st. So if you're able to get help from family members or even a close friend where they can put you up for a little while until you get back on your feet, it probably will be in your best interest in doing this. It is not going to be comfortable living out of a car in the summer and there's heat waves going on. I don't think that's going to be a very good thing for you. So hopefully, many of you already got plans in place in the event that this happens. It's certainly not a lot of time. This is Thursday. The moratorium ends Saturday. So, it doesn't leave a big window there. But millions of people right now are, stressing over what's going to happen after the moratorium ends. The Biden administration, they have yet to say a thing. They haven't said a word. So, you know how this government is. So this is The Guardian, July 29th, 2021. U.S. brace for avalanche of evictions as federal moratorium ends. So millions of Americans right now have been protected by the moratorium that was imposed by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention that expires on the 31st. Unlike most of these renters, so many people are just thousands and thousands of dollars behind on rent. There was $47 billion put aside by the government for renters assistance, but they have not made it an easy process for most. And like I told you in my other video, if your application is not absolutely perfect, they will throw your application out. And you're sitting there thinking you're waiting for the assistance and they done threw your stuff away. Only 6.5% of the money has been delivered, and advocates are concerned evictions will rise next week when renters are suddenly on the hook for months, if not a year, of unpaid rent. Roughly 12.7 million renters told the census in late June and early July that they had no or slight confidence in being able to make next month's rent. This pain won't be felt equally across the US. Of course, it won't. With weak renter protections, such as Florida, are bracing for an avalanche of evictions, while the federal moratorium expiration won't be noticed in states with stronger protections like Washington. Jeffrey Hittleman, a lawyer at Coast to Coast Legal Aid of South Florida, said the moratorium has been important for dozens of his clients who lost their jobs, had issues collecting unemployment from the backlog benefit system, and fell behind on rent. Once the CDC moratorium expires, there will be no special eviction protection for people in South Florida, Hittleman said. Florida eviction cases move quickly, and fighting them is hard. Just to get a court hearing, tenants have to pay full back rent owed within 5 days of the eviction filing. Without the eviction moratorium as a defense, people will have only a few days to find months of unpaid rent just to get a court hearing. Wow. You got to pay just to get a court hearing down in Florida? Oh man, that's crazy. Wow. I didn't even know that was the case. Even with the rental assistance, which covers, so many months of your rent that's behind, a lot of people are still struggling because, there may be additional fees that you have to pay, like late fees to your landlord. The eviction moratorium was initially set to expire at the end of June, but the White House expanded it for one final month through the 31st of July, amid reports of even slower dispersals of rental assistance earlier this summer, which I don't think is fair. I think they should have made the process a lot easier and put the word out. And you could have campaigned and put the word out for people in all of these states. When it ends, one of the last barriers between the country's systemic mismatch between housing cost and the money people actually have will have fallen. The National Low Income Housing Coalition published a report this month that showed a full time minimum wage worker can't afford a modest 2 bedroom rental. They can't, yeah, you can't really afford rent anywhere in the US. And I did the video on that. These workers also can't afford a 1 bedroom in 93% of US counties, the report said. But this bigger issue, one that will outlive the pandemic, that has pushed the housing movement to demand permanent change and improve renter protection in some states. The movement has ensured that the end of the federal moratorium won't cause even a slight rumble for renters in Washington. The state has some of the strongest protections for renters during the pandemic, though some rules, such as a rent increase freeze, have been phased out. It will keep many protections or a version of those protections in place until September. Until October 1st, Washington landlords can only evict tenants for unpaid rent if their county has working rental assistance and mediation programs. Well, I guess you're okay if you're in a state like Washington. Wow. But New York and New Jersey also have their own separate moratorium. Some states do. You just got to check wherever you live. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Again, my heart goes out to anybody that's struggling out here. I wish I could do a lot for you right now. If I could, I would. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.